what's your policy going to be for this first round?
Oh, to keep out of trouble. We're just defensive.
There is no other robot like this one, is there? Good luck, guys. I wish you all the best. How can you be defensive with a giant Brussels sprout?
Robot ears, stand by.
The Psychosprout father and son team. Dad Chris Marston letting 16-year-old Toby drive.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Won't you roll away the stone? Here it comes. It's out. The steer controlled by a team that calls itself the Boy Sprouts. Now, a rolling stone gathers no moss. A rolling sprout gathers a Sergeant Bash. Impaled, and I wonder how on earth it's going to get out of that.
Meet Psychosprout. Inside Psychosprout is a proprietary chassis with some of the components upgraded. The idea is that as this runs inside the chassis, the truck actually climbs up the inside of the wall, and as the centre of gravity is far over to one side, the whole sprout actually rolls along.
That's telling us, young Toby, one of his hobbies is to grow carnivorous plants. He's certainly going to have to eat up some ground here to get away from Sergeant Bash. And that circular saw and the flamethrower and the spike. And I think Sergeant Bash is helping him along here, and I think he's helped him far enough.
Stop and deactivate robot.
Well now, Toby, that was, basically you tried to reinvent the wheel. So I'm not so sure it was such a bad idea in the first place.
Yes, well, won't be trying that design again anyway.
Thanks very much.
Psychosprout in third place with 9 metres. Warthog now very nervous.
Toby, what happened? It works now.
I know, just at the wrong moment it starts to work again. I think there's probably a bit of interference by the TV cameras as well. That probably didn't help. But...
You can't blame the... you cannot blame the telly for your lack of technology.
Well, it's worth a try.
Now, you're all scientists, guys, but can science help you against the house robots?
Most definitely. Science and design will always overcome brute power and ignorance.
So prove it. Which route are you going to take in the gauntlet?
Well, actually, in the first round, I think we'll take the middle route. We want to be gentle on the house robots to start with.
In fact, you're going to avoid them altogether. You are aware of the pendulum, though, aren't you?
We are indeed aware of the pendulum, but that, again, will just bounce off us.
OK. Off you go, then. Good luck.
Robot ears, stand by.
Driver Richard Finch, Craig Williams and Tim Calladay are all big sci-fi fans.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Reality looks like a UFO. Taking on the ramp, as we first thought, there's a little alien in that cockpit. Can you see it?
This is our robot. It's called Reality. It stands for Reverse Engineered Alien Technology.
There he is. E.T. He ain't, but they're through the ramp. Out comes the drill. Slow speed on Reality, only 9 miles an hour, but a 25-degree maximum climb, powered by those 6 90-watt motors. The smoke won't hurt it. It's whether or not it can get up and over this ramp. Already done enough to go through. Can it beat the course? And that pendulum, they're aware of it. They've timed it, and they are through.
Guys. If I could deduct points for smugness, I would. How did that feel?
Fantastic. We were very worried and very concerned that it was going to hold together, but very relieved now. Yeah.
Well done. An impressive demonstration.
Seemed a little bit nervy there, but he is through, and Warthog go out at this stage.
That's the end of the first event. Let's see how our teams are doing. This is Reality, looking very smug. Hardly any adjustments to make there, because they did very well. Toby, are you doing all right?
Almost ready for the next part, yes.
Good, keep up the good work. And then here, talk of the devil. Excuse me, what are these dents? Still feeling a bit warm as well after Sergeant Bash.
It's still warm on top after the flamethrower, yeah. Yeah, Sergeant Bash got hold of us and then went to town on us with toast now, so we've got to try and get this patched up before we get some fiberglass in there before the next round.
How are you feeling about the next round? Do you think you can do it?
We're lucky to be there, so we're going to give it our best shot in there, so.
Good for you, good luck.
All right.
Toby, you want to be a botanist. Is this giant sprout your first step towards botany?
I don't know about botany, but it's my first step towards genetic engineering, I reckon.
Well, good luck. They're calling for you in the arena, so are you ready to go?
In this week's trial, our 5 surviving robots have to take on a steel maze called the Labyrinth. Now, there are lots of different routes through it, so only a complete idiot would ever end up going down a dead end. What makes it particularly difficult is that all the time you're being attacked, not only by your fellow competitors, but by the superheated halitosis of Sergeant Bash. Quite. Then there's Shunt, who is a psychopath, and Matilda, who is always in a bad mood. But then wouldn't you be if you had a chainsaw sticking out of your bottom? As usual, the last one to reach the end zone, or the one that covers the least distance, will be killed and eaten.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
And immediately, the Roboteers face a sort of chicane. Too many robots, not enough entrance gates to the maze. Reality to the left, they're doing well, and full Metal Anarack to the right. I just wonder about this outer shell of Reality. It looks to me as if it's made out of cold spaghetti. And Bodyhammer is in there as well, doing its little bit. Has to avoid those deadly spikes. And has a clear run through the middle there, Bodyhammer. I think this one could go all the way. Mind you, Shunt is waiting. And here's Sergeant Bash to take on Talk of the Devil. Full Metal Anarack getting in underneath Sergeant Bash. Is that wise? Is it really wise? But he's shot past him now, and that's good manoeuvring. Bodyhammer's in the way. Oh, look at that. Psychosprout back in the starting grid. Strange tactics indeed. Talk of the Devil. Talk of full Metal Anarack. Around the edge, he's only got one more. Little bit of maze to do. And full Metal Anarack is at the end of the maze and through. No wonder Paul Baxter is delighted. And look at this, he's fed up with waiting. I think he's trying to help out the others, I'm not too sure. Yes, he is. He's giving Matilda a shunt up the backside. Remember what's in that backside, full Metal Anarack? A vicious saw. You don't want to get yourself hurt, not at this stage, with time ticking down on the rest.
Cease.
But it doesn't matter that it's all over, because Psychosprout has gone backwards.
Now then, that was a fine performance. Any problems?
Bit of wheel spin and boredom. I went and did a bit of damage with Matilda in the end.
Boredom? Well, that's one way of looking at it. I can't really finish this without having a word with you. 6 feet forwards and then 7 feet back.
Yeah, well, I got into that corner, and once the sprite had decided it wasn't going to let me
You
stop
copped it up.
So, yeah, actually.
So there we are. Well done, everybody. Except you.
Commiserations to the Psychosprout team, their robot vegetating on the starting line and rolling out of the competition.
Now, Paul, you actually said in there to Jeremy that you'd got a bit bored at times.
I was amazed how quick I got through to the finish, and I looked back and noticed some of the guys in trouble, so I went back and had a second go. Stupid might be the word. I think I've blown the motor, but we'll see. We'll repair it and go again.
Do you really think you've blown the motor?
I saw smoke pouring out of the wheel guards, so there's something blown in there. It'll go again.
Okay, well, we'll catch up with you and find out.
Thanks.
See you later.
Everything just went against us. There just wasn't enough leeway, it didn't have a hope.
That's it then.
Yes, for this year. We'll be back next year. Got a bit of a major problem here.
What's your major problem? You did very well, didn't you?
The wheel has snapped off, and we've got to look at the gearbox, and we might have to send for a replacement shaft from the makers of the motor. They overheard us saying we were going to go for Matilda, and that's what we did, but unfortunately they got there first.
I keep advising people not to combat directly with our house robots.
We've got to
Does
give it a
anyone
go.
ever listen to me? Nope, no one ever listens to a thing I say.
OK, so we move on now to the semi-finals, which will be presided over by the usual panel of judges. Now, they're going to be looking for damage, control, style and aggression, but we hope they won't be needed. We hope that the Roboteers will get out there and smash their opponents into pieces so small that they'll actually be classified as dust.